Hi guys, so welcome to this mini masterclass all about body image. And when I work with anybody to help them overcome insecurities, improve their relationships, work on their mindset, body image comes into it quite a lot, particularly for women, but it definitely affects all of us, where underneath the insecurity about the body is actually somebody just wanting to be enough and wanting to be loved. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story with that today and give you guys some tools and some coaching and some top tips to help you start to love your body a little bit more and improve your body image. So looking back, was very, very critical of my body, very judgmental. And I used to feel regularly that it wasn't quite good enough. I would stand in front of the mirror and feel like I wanted a flatter stomach, or I wanted this and I wanted that. And at the time, I wasn't conscious of why. But now I'm aware that actually a part of me didn't feel good enough because of my conditioning. We're all conditioned in that way in some way. And I didn't feel very lovable. I'd had a lot of experiences where my relationships weren't working out. And we are taught through society that if we can look a certain way, if it's desirable, through the media and through everything, it's all about having this desirable way to look and way you should be. And perhaps we've had experiences of bullying or being teased for certain things to do with the way we look as we grow up as well. And all these things start to form this idea in our brain that we should look a certain way. And so when things don't work out in our life, such as relationships, because our brain has been taught that, we automatically go back to, oh, well, it must be because my boobs are too small, or because I've got red hair, that was one of my stories, or because I'm overweight, or whatever it is. And then we judge ourselves as not good enough. And it's just not true. And I tell you what, there is so much magic and inner peace and comfort and love that comes from starting to accept and love your body and the way you look. And I used to, like I said, criticize myself so harshly. And this led to behaviors like binge eating. I would feel out of control. And so I would binge eat sugar and then feel terrible afterwards. Sometimes I would make myself sick, and all these sort of habits. And they come from this place of not feeling enough, feeling like we should do better, and wanting to maybe have healthy habits so that we will look and feel good. And then when we can't follow through on that, we feel really ashamed, really annoyed at ourselves, and we sabotage. And it's really, really common. And so the first thing I want you to know is that emotional eating, binge eating, any types of eating habits, eating disorders, they often come from this feeling that we're not in control. And something that our brain thinks we can have control over is our intake and our food. And in that moment, when it feels completely unconscious and you binge eat or whatever it is, maybe you drink, maybe there's something else that you do, and that in that moment, it gives our brain a sense of control and enoughness. And there's also this idea of filling up on a feeling. If we don't feel enough inside, then that kind of food and being full helps us to feel full on the inside, emotionally and energetically, as well as physically. And so first of all, don't judge yourself for those habits and behaviors. It's completely normal. Everybody does it in some way, shape, or form at some time, because we're wired to find a way to feel in control when we don't feel out of control. And the irony of it is we don't feel out of control, and that's the only thing we can be in control about. It's the only thing that's certain, is that we have no control. And so our brain wants that certainty. And it will try and find it in unhealthy ways unless we teach ourselves and learn healthier ways. And so that was my habit for a long time. And I actually came to a point, because I was working in the fitness industry, and I remember on social media, I used to follow all these women who I thought had like amazing bodies and they were perfect. And I used to just dream and wish and try to look like that. So much so that I actually did a bikini fitness competition. And looking back, I thought I did that as something to work towards, as a goal to keep myself motivated. But underneath that story was another story that actually I thought that if I could stand on stage and look like that with perfect flat abs and peachy bum and tone and blah, that I would feel lovable, that I would feel good. And underneath that, now looking back, was probably that I wanted love and I wanted somebody to stay. And my brain had been fed all these wrong stories and ideas that maybe if I looked a certain way, nobody would want to leave me. And that was this story that I had going on. But actually, it's just a story because my past experiences taught me that maybe it was about me. But the truth is, we have no control over how someone else experiences us. And actually, if you've been left, rejected, cheated on, or anything like that in a relationship, it's not about you. It's about that person and their form of sabotage and what they've turned you into and their experience of you, which isn't to do with you. And you get to choose what's amazing and lovable about you for you. And that's what this work is all about. And it's just completely transformational. So let's have a little look now, and we're going to go through some top tips to help you improve your body image. So first of all, think about when you look in the mirror now, what do you see? What do you kind of say to yourself? And maybe you want to actually do this now, or while you're watching this video, or maybe you want to just have a little think or come back to it. And the thing that you are saying to yourself most is just a judgment. It's a judgment of what you're seeing. It's not necessarily based in truth. It's just a part of you judging a part of you, whether that's positively or negatively. Now have a think about what it is that you would want to change the most, what it is that you find yourself criticizing yourself about the most. And just jot that down. What would you like to experience? So for me, along a lot of my growing up, I was teased for having red hair, for example. And so if I'd have asked myself this question maybe 10 years ago, I would have maybe wanted to have wonderful long blonde hair, and I used to dye my hair. So if that was the case, it'd be like, what would you like to experience? Oh, I'd like to experience this color hair. Maybe you want to change your body shape. Maybe you want to lose weight. Maybe you want to gain weight. Maybe you want some more muscle tone, whatever it is. Then I want you to have a think about, what would that mean to you? So what you have the thing, you've made the changes, you can stick to the diet, whatever it is that you want, and you look that way. What would that actually mean? Okay, because we're trying to find out what's underneath this. So when I wanted to do that bikini fitness competition and be a fitness model, I thought that meant to me that I would look completely desirable, I would feel attractive, and I would be good enough. So that was my story. And then the next question, or if you're not really getting much from that, you can ask yourself, what is it that you hope to get through having this body image, or through looking that way, or whatever it is. So for me, with that bikini fitness competition, underneath that, I hoped I would get love and attention and affection from a partner. And then you're going to have a think about, because this is what's so helpful. Once you can see that, you can be like, oh, well, that's not necessarily going to get me that, once you can see the story under the story, it will help you, and you can have more compassion and acceptance for how you are now, and try to give yourself what you wanted in better ways. Because no matter how perfect my body was, I couldn't guarantee someone was going to stay, because that was about me and about my relationship with myself. And I can't control somebody else. And also, if they don't want to stay, then why would I want to be with someone who doesn't want to be with me? Right. And that's why I, from then, started doing a lot of internal work and working on loving myself, accepting my body, loving who I am. And that's where these things change, because that's what I really wanted. I wanted love, but I was looking for it externally, and actually it has to come from inside first. So once you know what you're trying to get through that, then you can be aware of it, and you can be like, oh, okay, part of me believes I'm going to get this from this. Well, is that necessarily true? And what are the consequences if I believe that, and if I try to achieve this for that? And then maybe you can start to give yourself what it is that you're looking for and what you need now. Because it is just from conditioning and from society that makes us believe or think we should look a certain way. And you get to change your mind about that and start to realize that your uniqueness and your own natural beauty is perfect and beautiful and amazing and wonderful, regardless of your body shape and size. So here are some more top tips to help you with this. So once you know the story and the story, you can start to help yourself, and you can try to give yourself what it is that you're actually looking for in better and healthier ways. Unfollow any kind of body image type profiles that make you feel bad about your own body. So there's some out there where people are sharing their wonderful curves and their experiences and their bodies after having children, and beautiful positive messages. And I try and post stuff like that too. They're great. But are you following, like I was, Victoria's Secret models and other fitness models, or even just fitness people who just constantly post their body? Because I can tell you now from personal experience, just because their body looks amazing on Instagram does not mean that they are secure and happy in their own skin. Because I used to post about my body, and I used to use that as external validation that it was good enough. Whereas now I don't. I post pictures of me working out, but not to show off my body. And it's like a different energy. I do it now to help and inspire and share my fitness journey and, my life, rather than, oh, look at me, look at my body. And a lot of the profiles and a lot of the shares like that are coming from somebody who isn't actually very secure and in love with their body. And so anything that you're following of these like tiny waists or whatever it is, a lot of them are photoshops as well. So remember that they're unrealistic. And if you are using them and you're looking at them and they're not inspiring you and they're actually putting you down, unfollow. That's tip 1. Tip 2 is start to enjoy just taking care of you. So whether that's investing yourself, having some coaching, maybe you'd like some coaching with me. We've got a body image workshop coming up, but maybe it's just you focusing on eating what you enjoy and moving your body in a way that you enjoy, rather than doing it to look or get a certain thing out of it. And just catching yourself, oh, I feel like I should go to the gym today because I need to make sure I stay slim. Well, why? You're good enough now. Why not go to the gym because it feels good? You don't have to go every day. And so just being aware of doing things that make you feel good, and caring for yourself because you want to care for yourself and your body, rather than you feel like you should or you're not good enough now. So just catch the difference between the two. And another exercise you can do is a powerful mirror exercise, where you look in the mirror and you just say some things that you see that are neutral or positive. So if you find it difficult to say something positive about your body, you might say you're a great mother, or you might say you're a wonderful friend, or you're a kind-hearted person, and start with things that you can really feel and believe first before you start working to what you actually see about your body. Then it might be easier to talk about your eyes, and then something else and something else. And just remember that little voice that wants to jump in and criticize you is just your conditioning. It's not based in truth. And the more that you do this, or you walk past a mirror and just look into your own eyes and say, I love you, or even if that's too much, I'm working on loving you. And this is very powerful, and things will start to shift for you when you do that as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I will post the details of my workshop if you're interested in that, and some one-to-one coaching if body image, loving yourself, finding love is something that you're struggling with and you would like some help and support with, this is what I'm here for, and this is what I love. So thank you for watching, and also if you have any questions, let me know as well. Bye.